Hello everybody, I thought I'd send you a quick video while I'm waiting to collect my daughter. I'm feeling very emotional today because I'm thinking about how fast children grow up. Now this isn't a video about parenting, so if you do not have a child, don't switch off, because this is about book publishing, more importantly writing your first book. In my other video that's similar to this one, I mentioned that I believe that everybody has at least one book inside them, and I still believe that. I believe that with all my heart, but it's not always easy to get started. And I know that many of you, just the very thought of starting to write a book, it's overwhelming for you. But how does this relate to me feeling emotional about my daughter? Well, she is starting college soon, and she right now is at her college open day. And I'm thinking and being all mumsy and reminiscing about all the things in her 15 years of life, all the things that she couldn't do that I thought didn't think she would never do, but I was veering on the anxiousness of, will she ever be able to learn how to do this? Potty training was a nightmare. Don't let anyone tell you that if you're struggling with potty training that it's your fault and you just haven't sussed out how to be a proper parent. Potty training was so hard. People always go around saying they're clean before they're dry. That used to drive me nuts because Sarah would poo everywhere. She would just, like a dog, like a puppy or a kitten, just leave deposits around the house. And my husband and I, we're not OCD, but we like an uncluttered house. We like a clean house. We're not crazily, oh, everything has to be perfect, but to have poo deposits to just suddenly turning up everywhere. You black women will understand this. I used to sleep with this cap. It was slightly plastic and it would keep my hair moist in the night. She pooed on my cap. I mean, I was pleased it didn't go on the floor, but went to my bedroom. I had left my cap on the floor. Okay, I didn't need to wash, well, I washed my hands, but I mean, I didn't need to wash the floor because, yeah, okay, she pooed on the cap. And she was 3 years old and she was due to go to nursery school soon. And there was about a couple of months before she was due to start. So this was like July. And I was thinking, is my daughter ever going to learn how to use the toilet? And believe me, I tried everything. So yes, there was that slight fear that I know a lot of parents have, that, oh, is my child going to be potty trained by the time they start preschool or whatever you call it, wherever you are. And then there was the reading the bedtime stories at night and trying to help her understand that page 68 is this way, page 105 is this way, you turn this way to get to a higher number. And then the whole thing about reading, is my child ever going to sit down with books and read? There's a whole load of things that those of us, even those of you with special needs children, who there may be things they're still struggling with, but they've overcome a lot of things, maybe even medical things. They don't have fits anymore, they don't have tantrums anymore. There is a whole load of things that children have learnt to do that we thought at one point, as parents, as frustrated parents, as worried, anxious parents, thought our child would never overcome. I remember once trying to teach my daughter maths. My hat goes out to you, all you parents that have had to homeschool during the pandemic. I remember once I thought, is my child, has she got dyscalculia? Why doesn't she get numbers? And oh, there were so many things. Parenting is hard. When you have a strong-willed child, it's harder. If you are a single mum, it's even harder still. No disrespect to dads. I know there are a lot of single dads out there. There's a whole lot of variables that match what I'm trying to say, in the fact that your child grows up, and when they grow up, even when they're just in their early teens, when you look back, there is so many things they have learnt to do. My daughter knows her times tables. She can read, she can write, she's learning Russian, she's learning Italian. Nobody's teaching her. She's learning it by herself. She's even learning Welsh. You know, our children learn. And what I'm trying to say is, in the point of the subject of writing, remember when you were a child and there were so many things that you had to learn. They were hard things. You thought you'd never get over having to do these things, but you did them. And in the same way, you can get over the hurdles of writing a book. You can sit down and start writing. You have a story to tell, whether it's a non-fiction story like a memoir, or this isn't quite a story, but a life coaching book, a manual. There is something that you can teach other people, whether it's a practical thing, whether it's an emotional thing, whether it's something from your own life. And then there's all you budding writers, fiction writers that have stories inside of you. There's so many things. I know that you can write at least one book, and you might not have the finances to get a proofreader and an editor or a ghostwriter either. And the thought of having to reread your manuscript for errors, spelling, grammar, it fills you with dread. And then those of you that can afford a proofreader, you don't want to be criticised, you don't want to be mocked, you don't want to be told to change things. You're feeling a little bit sensitive about what somebody might say about your book. They might even laugh at you. You know why you're writing what you're writing and why you're writing it in the way you are, and you don't want to be told something that you don't agree with. So there's so many reasons why people don't start that first book, but I want to encourage you just quickly that just like you learned to do all those things growing up, you can learn to write a book. You can learn to self-publish. You can learn to get out all that stuff that's in your head. Even if you maybe struggle with dyslexia, even if you struggle with writing, even if you don't really like being on the computer for a long period of time because it hurts your eyes or your bones or your neck, please understand you can do it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. You can do it. So make a start. You will not regret it. This time next year, even if you've just done one chapter, you are making progress. So don't compare yourself with other writers that you might know. Don't compare yourself with other people. Do what you can do, but every day make a step. If even you just sit down one day and think, right, I'm going to write this chapter. How am I going to do it? Even if you just make, you know what I'm trying to say, just make notes on what you're going to do. Every day, do something, and you will be so proud of yourself. It's a bit like saving, putting aside a penny a day. It might seem pathetic and silly, but in a few years' time, you will have quite a lot of money. So I hope that encourages you. It might seem like a silly analogy, but for me, it's quite a strong one, because I know how many things I struggled with as a parent and how many times I thought, is my child ever going to learn how to do this? And she's got through it. And that encourages me to continue doing new things, continue making a step forward. YouTube, I mean, I so am not a YouTube person. I mean, I didn't want to do YouTube. It's talking to a camera just isn't me. And I had to make a big effort to step forward because I knew I didn't have all the equipment and all the things that other people have, and you know, things coming up on the screen and all these fancy things. It was just going to be me talking on a camera. That's it, flat. No fancy cards, no fancy end cards, and no fancy titles. But I'm doing now what I really enjoy. I love making YouTube videos. I love talking to you, even if I'm talking to myself and nobody's watching this. But anyway, one day somebody will turn on this and they will be encouraged, I know, because they are scared about writing their new book. So I know it will have a good effect on at least one person, and that blesses me. Even if I only ever have 12 subscribers in my lifetime, who cares, so long as I have helped at least one person. So God bless you. Please let me know where you are in your writing journey and what is holding you back, or what you think is holding you back. I'll be very pleased to encourage you if I can, and if I know somebody I can pass you on to, as in a book I've read or something, I'll be pleased to help you. Okay, take care. Bye bye.